Hi, my name is Farhad Eftekhari, and today I'm going to talk about the smart online learning community that we are about to release pretty soon, and about the core of this platform. The professor, my tutor was Petri Borima, and yep. This is the first picture, the first picture that we took for the introduction of my part-time teaching career. It was one SQL workshop in Metropolia University of Applied Sciences in April 2015, almost 4 years ago. And I've been a part-time teacher for 4 years now, having more than 1,500 students and enabling them to pass more than 6,000 credits. And I built my own e-learning portals, a customized one, 3 generations of them in order to help myself to manage my students, their enrollments, and deliver my material to my students. My portals, somehow I used them as some sort of a superpower on my own, because there was no way for me as a part-time lecturer to be able to manage 1,500 students and enabling them to complete that many credits. It was very helpful, and the reason that it helped me a lot was I made them specifically for my own need. This is the screenshot of the course space of one of the courses I was offering, and there were many interesting features. For instance, the enrollments were automated. When I started, when my students wanted to enroll in my courses, I had to manually insert them into an Excel file sheet, and it was frustrating, even to manage 20 students every time for my workshops. But the portal made it as easy as possible by just clicking one button. Everything that I had to do for a few minutes, in a single second, it was done. And then as much as I could, I enabled my portal to assess the quizzes for me and some of the other assessments as well. That was also very helpful. I no longer needed to go through the quizzes of my students and assess them. And then the portal itself was also able to give my students the smart certificates. There were no way to forge that, there were no way to somehow duplicate that, clone that, and the university could also easily validate them. And I was out of the whole procedure, and that was significantly improvement for myself. And all the reportings I had to do every month, every time I wanted to do, it was only one click, and the portal itself will do all the statistics and reportings that I was actually looking forward to. Now, for financing reasons, when I wanted to give, when I wanted to send bills to university, all I also needed to do was just a few clicks, and the whole report was being created, and that was it. And the thing was, one of the reasons that I created my e-learning portal was because of my previous students. Because with every enrollment, I was updating my material, and I wanted to give access to my previous students, the ones that enrolled maybe a year ago, to have access also to my updated material. So when they were logging to my portal, even if they were completing the courses, they were still having access to the updated material, and that was a significant improvement. And everyone in my profile had a profile, in my e-learning portal had a profile. So I could easily make myself familiar with the student. Next year, if he or she wanted to enroll in another course, I knew the background, and that was also very helpful. And last, all the conversations were archived in my portal. There were no need to send emails. Some conversations were not being forgotten or missed out, like it was used to happen when I was using email addresses in order to communicate with my students. But every time when a student was sending me a message, I could see the conversation history, and I no longer needed to remember what was happening. It was all there. But there were some very, very big issues. First of all, the environment was so stiff. There was not that much room for innovation. It was just plain simple PDF and slideshows, and I was not able to somehow customize it based on the different topics that I was offering and I was trying to teach to my students and offering my material. And that was a very, very big limitation for me. And then, although it enabled me, rather than few tens of students, manage few hundreds of students, but I knew that this system cannot work with few tens of thousands of students. and I was aiming for much bigger opportunities, finding new partner universities in order to offer my online courses. So I was mainly looking forward to create some sort of infrastructure to be able to even manage millions of students, why not? And then technologies I was using also were a bit outdated, both on the back end side and front end side. So I was somehow depriving myself to learn new and state-of-the-art technologies, and also if I wanted to hire developers, then I was also had to look for some sort of outdated developers. And then it was a private API, so integration was not very possible between my learning portal and different platforms. And also one of the main issues were that the students were not aware from each other when they were coming to my portal. It was always one-way communications between the students and me as a lecturer. And that was a very big issue. So the solution that I come up with was this community-first approach. Rather than having an e-learning portal, I wanted to create a smart online learning community. First of all, to enable communications between my students, to help them also help themselves to learn. The students are 99.99% of the users of my platform. So there's like great potentials for them to also get connected together, help from each other, and then oceans of opportunities. So for my smart online learning community, there are a few features that we are actually analyzing and pretty soon we're gonna release. First of all, the way we are looking at the enrollments is different. We are defining programs, and the students can enroll in programs and they can access to many courses that has been defined to the programs. That's a significant improvement if I want to have different university partners for my platform. And then there's this very flexible feature named Course Designer to make it as flexible as possible for the lecturers in order to design their course material and help them to just, like puzzles, just pick the modules that they need and just put them in the course space and then create their material very easily. And for students also, there is a significantly improved course space to walk with them with every steps throughout the learning process. And that's also a significant improvement because we want to make the portal as smart as possible to minimize the work of the lecturer in order to assess the students' tasks. And we have a smart assessment to look for pattern recognitions. So if I'm having few thousands of students, there's no way for me to remember if this assignment has been published before, if somebody is copying someone's assignments. By using this feature, then the lecturer can guarantee that it's looking for some sort of a similarity patterns. And then it can also introduce private courses in the platform, and then a smart teaching assistant as a portal itself. So the portal itself, somehow like a chat bot, also help the students to learn the material. And then the other tools like appointments and calendars can also be used to it, and then same like advanced messaging features and some analytics capabilities for the lecturers, for them to realize on which part of the course the students has been spending too much time, which part they just moved and nothing happened, in which part they left studying of that enrollment and that course. That's a very significantly helpful data and information for lecturers to enable them to actually update their material and improve their material. And tutorship, imagine there are like communities around the world, they are like learning SQL server. The portal itself can hire students as tutors, the ones that they were very good with their enrollments, in order to help the other students for their tasks. So we are also in that way minimizing the work of the teachers to solve students' problems, especially with the straightforward questions that can be discussed more easily. And then discussions. So studying alone is kind of scary. When you're alone, especially on online courses, you feel left out, you feel you're all alone. So in every part of the material, you can just create discussions, and then as a group, then students or teachers or TAs can answer to you, and then in those part of the content, you can also see the archive of messagings and everything. And then you have the feature of grade comparison in order for yourself to see how good or how bad you did in some sort of assignments and exercises. And of course, workshop features, because we want to have different solutions for online courses, for actual courses, like classroom courses and also workshop courses. And then the capability of studying groups and learning together. And features like marketplace and launch. Imagine you're a teacher and then you want to get to know the other teachers in your field in order to share experiences and your content and improve your career. And region feature for different purposes, and then of course virtual reality environments to support our web environment. And these are the features that actually we are talking about, these community features. And the technologies we are also using on cloud side, we are using Microsoft Azure. On backend side, ASP.NET Core version 2.2, C#, and on the database also MS SQL Server, and the front side also React Redux. And for collaborations between our teams, we are also using Azure DevOps and Microsoft Teams and Confluence for archiving and discussions. And we are also having different teams in our organizations, IT team, education team to take care of the content, and also legal team, because we are offering services for users and we need to be aligned according to GDPR and EU regulations. So there's a great collaborations between our IT team and legal team to make sure all of our implementations are aligned with such criteria and regulations. So to conclude, first we implemented the core of our community, smart online learning community. And we tried to make it as flexible as possible in order to later on create the features. And then we need to also migrate the data from the current e-learning portal, which now more than 1,200 students are using, into this smart online learning community. And then little by little, all of those features that I described briefly will be added to this platform, and then after a while this platform will be open to be used for public. We engaged conversation in social networks, and we are using the hashtag community first, so we are welcoming everyone to join the conversation in order to ask us what we are really aiming for and what can be included in order to improve the community we are actually gradually building. So that was our purpose, that was how we started, and that's what we are actually aiming for in order to achieve releasing this smart online learning community. Thanks for your time. My name was Farhad Eftekhari, and was very happy to have the chance to introduce this smart online learning community, which in mid-February we are aiming forward to release the core of the platform. Thank you.